December 28th, it's myself here at Lando Sanders, live here from the UMG studio. As like I said, we're hopping in here toward our first semifinal matchup between two teams that we've actually been able to watch in our past two series. We've got ExoMoon going up against the guys on HavoK Esports. It's a best of three to decide who, of course, will have their solidified spot and guaranteed top two, as we're looking at St. Marie-du-Mont for map number 1. And we're taking a look here at Post Office, a.k.a. Bottom Restaurant, a.k.a. Bottom Red, whatever call out you have. We're looking at it, of course, here for our first hardpoint. As when it comes down to it, pretty much a contest fight, as you're going to see quite a few SMGs. And be looking at those streaks, because it's a very high potential that we could also be looking at some flamethrowers as well. As holding that corner was Beehzy, as he will end up falling. And that rotation coming in toward Winery is going to play big. And keeping in mind, who can be there for that rotation is going to be massive. Granted, of course, having control in bottom mid is fantastic, right? But when it comes down to Winery, when it comes into parking lot, these next two hills are huge for time. These are ones where you can definitely stack up on seconds. And this is where we're going to see a lot of these leads start to be earned. As big kills coming in, as Bxldyyy doing some work with that SMG for the boys on HavoK. As we talked about his performance in that last series, when they were able to take down A, which is a.k.a. Pemby and Dangles & Co., he was a major factor when it came down to, honestly, the hardpoint as well as in the search and destroy as well. Having a pretty solid performance overall. I'm not 100% sure if HavoK has decided to release Exib and pick up Bxldyyy, or what really the case was, but regardless, he's been playing very well in that SMG role. I'm very curious to see his performance when it comes into future respawns. As continuing on here, rotation was won by the boys, of course, on ExoMoon. In solid position here from MRuiz in the back lines. He needs to pick off Beehzy, but his position is known. He's going to have no idea that two players are trying to force the issue toward this back barn side. And just like that, player engages, and just like that, they win it. That's a huge fight won for ExoMoon, because, of course, they're trying to grant themselves the spawns. And Envader right now able to take out Kade. That's a big fight won. And honestly, if you're Envader in this position, you're just waiting for your teammates to find the kills, because if they're able to do that, that's big for your team. And MRuiz finds one, but Bxldyyy is still locking down time in the hill. He said those spawns are great, but the hardpoint time is how you win the game. And he's doing work inside of the hill. 7-3 right now, close to streaks. Unfortunately drops. And while the fights are going to go down through mid-map, it looks like it will be player number 8, the last person trying to challenge. Kade falls. And just like that, ExoMoon win a huge portion of Winery and win at least half of the time inside a parking lot as well, granting them a pretty decently sized lead heading in toward Lookout Post. Like I said, granted, you're going to see, like I said, another kind of contest fest when it comes into Lookout Post. But of course, this particular hardpoint map has 4 hills. Last and the first are contest hills. But middle two are where you're going to get a huge chunk of those seconds. So it's really going to be, at least from a lot of the maps that we normally watch, those kind of middle, second, and third hills are the ones to be looking out for. Granted, Lookout Post, you can definitely grab a lot of seconds on, but it's a lot more difficult to lock down a early hard point. But just so I talk about that, HavoK Esports doing a fantastic job at currently locking it down. Sells Envader trying to get some work done from mid-map. Bxldyyy coming in from Winery. He's able to drop one onto Cells, but still back and forth we go. Early seconds gain for HavoK. And ExoMoon there for the responses as well, as I believe, of course, we're talking about the ExoMoon roster. This group, I believe, was actually picked up just a few hours ago, actually heading into this tournament. I believe this is their first tournament as an official organization team. You know, of course, probably played in a few online tournaments or scrimmed, of course, but happy for these guys to be on this particular organization. As I believe that the old ExoMoon team, which I believe consisted of, I want to say, Tiny and a few other guys back at CBL Dallas, made a pretty solid open bracket run. I believe it took out like Supremacy or something like that. So this organization has seen some success. They're trying to advance themselves with this very solid roster. As of course, like probably know a few of these players, especially guys like Envader and Beehzy. I remember casting over Cells back in, I want to say it was Advanced Warfare, and he played for a team that was called Geared for Gaming. don't know, it was like him. There's a guy named like Pickles and someone else. I honestly can't remember the entire team. But the one thing that was really funny to me is that their entire team, it might have been, actually I'm trying to think who else was, it might have been Envoy was actually on that team as well. What was funny is that their entire team was actually known as, like their entire team's first name were all Dylan. So it was like the team of Dylans. It was kind of funny. Not that that really means anything. That's just what I always think of, like Cells. I always think that his name's Dylan and that he played with the 3 other guys. They're also the same first name. So a little factoid for you about Cells. Is that he once played with the team that had the same first name as him. So with that, as we hop in actually to the gameplay, the things that really matter, not the personal history of every single player. It is currently a pretty decently sized lead right now for ExoMoon. Talk about these guys. Very solid performance coming in from them. As, of course, we talked about Cells, gave a brief history on him. Guy we talk about GorgoKnight. Not a lot of people know about this guy. I've been casting over him, I think, I want to say through a little bit of Black Ops 3, if not through Infinite Warfare 100%. Known for his search and destroy, at least from what I've been able to see. And it seems that he's transitioning pretty decently when it comes down to the respawns as well. As a current 100-second advantage right now for ExoMoon. They've taken the lead and not looked back. And I was curious when it comes into St. Marie Dumont because, like I said, we've cast over ExoMoon. We've cast over HavoK so far in this tournament. And the one outlier, the reason why both these teams went to map 3 was because they couldn't finish off the hardpoint. Both these teams were able to win the search and destroy and the CTF both. And so to me, the hardpoint could definitely be the swing game because the S&D and CTF are ones that should play close if we even do see a CTF. So with a very strong presence being shown from ExoMoon, you got to imagine they're feeling pretty confident when it comes to the S&D as well. Why? Because in their prior series, they took out a team on USS Texas 6 rounds to 1. So of course, USS Texas, definitely not the map that I like to compare things to quite a bit, but still, definitely something to kind of keep in mind. But not saying the map is over by any means. But definitely looking that way as Bxldyyy locking down a parking lot right now, have to rely on his teammates to get the kills, but they just invest so much time into breaking this. It ends up working in their favor, and this is honestly just a smart play coming in from the guys on ExoMoon. Granted, you're saying, why are you 4-man rushing when there's only, 15 seconds left in the hill, 17 seconds left in the hill? But generally, they're so close to 250 that this is totally a worthy investment for them. Honestly, once the parking lot ends, they're going to be what? Maybe 10 seconds away from overall closing out this game, so not a bad strategy by any means. With being in the driver's seat, you can afford to make some, not even mistakes, but some risky or unorthodox plays. And if you are the guys on the HavoK Esports, you're most likely thinking about the search and destroy, maybe going to the drawing board and thinking about what you're going to be doing when it comes down to London Docks, because this one just seems to be out of sight and out of mind. Cells somehow nearly found 2 kills. Not even sure how he walked away with the first one. Definitely doing a lot of work when it comes down to that. As Envader, 21-17, Cells 25-14, doing the work necessary. And you look at GorgoKnight, love to see that stat line. Granted, -4, but 2 minutes and 51 seconds inside of the hill, doing exactly what his role is to do on this team, and that is to hop inside the hardpoint and get the kills necessary. And honestly, if you look at the numbers between GorgoKnight, who finishes off 13-16, and I believe it was Bxldyyy who's been the main objective guy for HavoK Esports, granted, obviously one guy was able to get a lot more time than the other, but a lot of that time revolves on what your teammates are doing, to be honest with you, as Beehzy will obviously finish off here with the Bronze Star. But regardless, though, it was a matter of whoever was in the hill, whether it was Bxldyyy for HavoK or whether it was GorgoKnight for ExoMoon, it was a matter of who was finding the kill. So you see 3 minutes inside the hill for GorgoKnight, 14-16 for him. And then you look at Bxldyyy, 16-17, only 58 seconds inside of the hardpoint. We look at Bxldyyy, and he has the second most amount of kills on his team, and he's the guy who's supposed to be playing the objective. So you see a little bit of the early struggles being shown for the guys over on HavoK Esports, one that they definitely would prefer not to replicate if it comes down to a future hardpoint that they could be facing off against, because, of course, the series isn't done with just yet. Map number 1 is in the books, but like I said, these are best of 3. So after winning map number 1, you're then only one more map away from locking things down and obviously being in the driver's seat when it comes down to the series. So with that in mind, ExoMoon is obviously able to walk away with the first map, winning this one in pretty dominant fashion. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the $300 minimum 4v4 variant on December 28th. Christmas has ended, and we are granted a present here in map number 2, taking place between ExoMoon and HavoK Esports. Yes, it is London Docks on Search and Destroy. Seeing how these two will battle out, we of course got to witness the hardpoint on St. Marie Dumont go the way of ExoMoon, as they won that one in pretty dominant fashion, 250 to just 123. And now looking here toward Search and Destroy on London Docks. How can the boys on HavoK respond is the question. And not being in a current 2 versus 2, early rounds are very important for momentum for either side. As it looks like wrapping back around. Bomb in the hands of Bxldyyy. As they're definitely tempting their way here on the A side at the moment. Watching the flank and being very wary right now is Bxldyyy, but Cells to definitely spoil the party as GorgoKnight. I want to say it's a questionable play, but I'm just going to say, waiting for him to either join up with his team or try to form a little bit of a flank. Bxldyyy gets great timing. Just playing the time well. GorgoKnight is able to finish off one, and GorgoKnight comes from the side, but is not able to find it. Bxldyyy, huge play, huge kill found, rather, as he finishes off the final 2. For a second, I thought this is definitely going to go GorgoKnight's way, but just the fantastic reaction time coming in from Bxldyyy is definitely a potential controller spiking moment. If you're in GorgoKnight's position, just wondering why or how that kill was not found, but literally a bullet difference between the two in a round that does come of it. As Bxldyyy coming up clutch yet again in Search and Destroy, which is exactly the game mode that they're relying on him to put up numbers. But advancing forward, GorgoKnight tries to make his way through mid-cut, but MRuiz is there to pick him off. A big first blood found if you are on the defensive team, because while you got the bomb down, you now have the man advantage. And speaking of that bomb, MRuiz knows exactly where it's at. It's just off to his left. He can see where that enemy is dropped, and if you're GorgoKnight, you'd love to maybe re-challenge that one and have another opportunity. But Envader finds a big kill, escapes the bomb in his hands. He can quite frankly win the round for his team. Envader coming from the side, and MRuiz is there for the trade. But it will be a 1 versus 2. Cells picks off Holler, and 1 player remaining is MRuiz. Dolphin dives galore as MRuiz, as if he can watch Cells' point of view is by himself. Trying to tempt him, MRuiz known for his aggressive and in-your-face play. And Cells is going to be the one to make the challenge because the bomb is down. He has to plant it, and yes, gets great timing. The 1 versus 2 for Cells. As just the play prior from Envader. As off the break, I believe it was what? It was GorgoKnight who had the bomb in hand, challenges in this exact point of view on MRuiz. Drops the bomb down in an awkward spot. Envader grabs the bomb, escapes with it, finds a kill. And of course, Cells is there for the pickup. Wins a big 1 versus 1. Overall, a 1 versus 2. Shuts down both Holler and MRuiz. As ExoMoon are just like that back into this one. Round number 3 up. And MRuiz and co. from the boys on HavoK are on the offense. Trying to limit Cells, and Cells could drop, but no. Only gets hit markers. Goes for the challenge. It's just overall a very smart play coming in from the guys on HavoK. Envader nowhere to be found as he's currently here on water side. Wondering what exactly just happened to his teammates, because why he's in a 1 versus 4. We'll find Kade for his troubles, and honestly, picking up that sniper rifle is not a bad play whatsoever. And that definitely could have gone a different way, honestly. If you're in Holler's point of view, you'd be watching back on the stream, you're kind of look like, all right, Holler, granted, good kill, but definitely a scary moment, I think it's fair to say. Granted, would have been a 1 versus 2. They know exactly where his position is, but still. Regardless, 2 rounds to 1, a solid offensive round victory. Honestly, if you are the guys on HavoK, you can kind of give each other high fives, even though you're not living together. But still, I mean, you can give virtual high fives to each other, because that was just overall a dominant round of S&D, especially played here on London Docks. But I was going to say, surprised that we have been seeing a lot of A hits, but on London Docks, you can definitely see a decent spread as far as which bomb sites are preferred. It looks like B is the one that has been hit for the most part. But look at GorgoKnight right now. He's playing the bomb, and he's made a sneak play. Why? Because none of his teammates were around him. He is the bait, and he honestly could have easily gotten picked off at any point during that game. So his team all plays as bait, where GorgoKnight rounds the corner and gets shut down by Holler. 3 versus 2. Bxldyyy and Holler left to try and retake the bomb site. Catching Cells through the wall, but constant hit markers. Bxldyyy wondering, where exactly are my bullets going? Rounding the corner, there he is, finds one, and thankfully, Holler will find the other on Envader. Cells not exactly sure how he was able to escape with that fight, but we'll give the defuse over toward Holler as the streaks will be earned. But overall, got to give a big shout out, honestly, to the guys on ExoMoon for that particular play. just because of the fact that, hey, they kind of bait everyone through middle map. They kind of try to allow the bomb planter as if he's not even there. No one is actually challenging inside of A, and that's due to all the facts that we've seen so far have been on B. The entire kind of focus of search and destroy so far throughout this game has been on that B site. So we've finally seen A hit. Everyone kind of baits for the bomb planter, and overall it works out for the plant, but not overall for the round victory. So 3 rounds to 1 right now. As looking at Holler right now, he's definitely the main man to be looking out for as he's got streaks to work with. 100 points away from that third one. And he's got the fighter pilot and the glide bomb on a 6 spree currently. And it looks like Bxldyyy gets picked off 2-on-3 and not the advantage for the offensive team right now. As they do currently have a free site, and Holler at least knows that no one is off toward his left. However, Envader just rounded the corner, holding that box head glitch perfectly. And I believe Envader did spot MRuiz. Yeah, as he should get picked off here at any moment, but could get some decent timing. However, will not. So a huge round does get one there from the guys on ExoMoon. Reason being, this could be the difference between 4-1 and 3-2 is just absolutely mind-boggling as far as search and destroy. And while it sounds just like as if a round kind of goes through, it's like, yeah, obviously it's a big deal. But I think it was actually, I was talking to Burns about this during the second annual Memorial Tournament that we had, the $10,000 tournament, and I was talking to him about it. And he was like, from a player's point of view, I mean, just generally looking at the scoreboard, I mean, for anyone who plays public matches, anyone who plays ranked right now, if you're playing search and destroy, you look at the scorecard and you're saying, wow, it's 4-2, or it's 4-1 rather. I mean, that is just I don't want to say like a big defeat, but if you're like, as far as like the overall momentum is considered, as far as the overall, you know, mood is in the team, it's a huge difference. It's a massive difference. And so a big round 5 victory for ExoMoon at least allows them to have an opportunity to get closer to sweeping this series in a 2-0 fashion. There's a lot of HavoK players lingering around that A site, and it's not working out for them. 2 kills go down fast as Bxldyyy thankfully is there for the trade. 2 versus 3 now. As we'll see how Bxldyyy and Kade can try to escape out of this, as Kade actually is in a position where if he maybe rounds a corner, catches someone off guard, he can definitely make a play happen. However, GorgoKnight holding a position strong inside a coal room. Bxldyyy is going to need to make, honestly, one of the most insane plays of his life if he wants to walk away with this round number 6 victory. 1v3, thankfully has another PPSH in his back pocket. But this one's not going to go his way. Honestly, not the best challenge ever if you're Envader. Not one that I'm a fan of. Granted, you know, obviously the round's most likely not going to go in Bxldyy's favor, but still, a challenge that you really don't need to make. Whenever streaks come into play, when it comes into Bxldyy's streaks, that if he stays alive, he could earn. Gotta say, that's a little bit sloppy. I'm not a fan of it. But still, Bxldyy's here for the pickup. And he's been rocking the STG-44. I'm pretty surprised that we see Beehzy rocking this one. Not for any particular reason, but just surprised that we see Beehzy rocking this particular weapon. Just one that I've seen a few players rock. I know for the EU cadets, Turn Up is a big fan of the STG-44. Seen a few players rock it, but of course it is personal preference. After the patch, obviously changed things up quite a bit. See that the SMG meta is in full force, and even the faster ARs as well. FG-42, of course, being taken down a notch. And Envader has a very good line set at the moment. Picks off one onto Bxldyyy. And there is a jump, actually, where MRuiz, if he wanted to go toward the side, can actually jump on. I don't think he's going to go for it. Not even sure if anyone really knows about it, but I saw this a clip on Twitter where you can actually jump from the opposite side of the dock to advance where Envader's position is. Hops up top, and it looks like Holler's there to finish off Envader for 1. Speaking of numbers, 2 versus 3, and Holler's hopping on the bomb right now. Headshot found for Cells, but bomb does get planted. And take a look at that mini-map. You see the red arrows trying to form a little bit of a pinch. Player number 8, Beehzy, getting up close and personal, joining alongside his teammate. How can they make the rush forward? Where is HavoK? Where are they lingering? And they have to constantly be aware of that flank that could be coming in at any moment. As Beehzy doesn't spot him, he doesn't spawn toward his left, he drops. And that's a big misfire. As Cells finds one, He's made big plays in Search and Destroy so far. Can he make another one? Up close and personal. Tries to get the drop shot into Holler, but I believe Holler will, yes, escapes with this round despite how the kills go. It doesn't matter. Cells finds the remaining 2, but it will be HavoK who takes a 1-round advantage here, 4-3, as they hold the site successfully. But to no avail, a near 1 versus 2 clutch that goes the way of Cells. GorgoKnight finds the kills, but obviously can't escape with a defuse. But still, Cells, honestly, if he's able to get that drop shot, there is definitely a chance where he can hop on that ladder and grab it. By the time you get to the bomb, it's really about like 7.8 to around 8 seconds. So it would have been close, but definitely would have taken that bet. I'm a betting man. But the smoke's out. Surprisingly not on the guys from HavoK. Of course, we talk about smokes being brought up from them, as I believe Holler does have the smoke in his back pocket, but they are being matched on ExoMoon. Holler finding 2 through mid-street. Holler, by the way, is 12-5. They get 13-5. There's a headshot to go along with the fact that they are now up 5 rounds to 3. HavoK are coming alive in the Search and Destroys. And we very well could be seeing a map 3 on a flag tower for some capture the flag. And like I said, when it came down to these two teams, both of them didn't win the hard point in their respective series. They relied on CTF and Search and Destroy victories. Kade. Sniper bullet whistles past the ear of Cells. As we'll see if in round number 9, HavoK can close this one out. Or excuse me, Kade right now 2-7, not having the best of performances, but a pick exactly in a crucial moment would erase that scoreline. As far as the importance, takes out GorgoKnight. Other play in front of him, Cells thankfully is there for the trade, so sniper rifle out of sight, out of mind. ExoMoon, man advantage, player in the back lines. Envader wins a big battle versus Bxldyyy. It's a lot of bees. And now Holler, 1 versus 3, has the bomb in hand and easily could pick off Cells, but I believe Cells at least has an idea as to where Holler is. Yes, gets picked off. So just like that, ExoMoon are still alive. And that's, like I said, it was a big battle in the back where Envader was able to take out Bxldyyy, turning this into from a 2v3 to a 1 versus 3. And outliers in that top right scorecard, Holler at 13-6. Guy you're looking at right now, excuse me, Cells 11-6. The smoke gets tossed out, or excuse me, the stun actually tossed out from Holler. Big first blood goes the way of GorgoKnight. That's a big kill found, and the bomb is actually in the back lines right now. 2 players have fallen as they quickly get to even back up, but no one for the guys on what is it, ExoMoon. Grab the bomb. So Beehzy wraps back, and I think the reason why we actually see them leave the bomb in the back of the map is because GorgoKnight says, hey, I want to go for a rush. He's been the main bomb planter, the main objective guy for this team throughout both Search and Destroys that we've seen so far. So they leave the bomb in the back and allow him to go for the rush. And granted, while he does find 1 kill, we find ourselves in a 2 versus 2. As it will be HavoK who needs to retake this one. What's the positioning for them? How do they come in at a certain point? And honestly, you really want to have an SMG at this point of range. They're going to have to rely on Bxldyyy to try to get something done. Beehzy holding that bomb site hard. Can he stay alive? But no, Kade is there. Cells is there for the trade. 1 versus 1. And if you're in Cells' position, teammates are saying, just stay alive, play the time. Can he find it? And yes, takes out Bxldyyy from the corner. And just like that, we are headed to a round 11. As Cells winning a crucial 1 versus 1 fight. And thankfully, Beehzy, his teammate, was holding that head glitch. Granted, he does fall, but at least is able to take away a little bit of that time, a little bit of that pressure. As from a 5-3 deficit, ExoMoon could be making this comeback. Bomb in the hands of Beehzy. Not having the best game up to this point. But a first blood would change that. Kade, I believe, actually, going with Kade really quick. Does he have a sniper rifle? No, it does have the bar. So Bxldyyy finding the first blood and being on defense, that's big. They have a huge advantage right now. If they can pick off the second, make this one a 2 versus 4. If they play for the pick, that is big. But just as I say that, GorgoKnight challenges from the side. There's no presence inside of A for HavoK. And so Kade has no position, really, inside of middle or inside of water. And just like that, Cells has earned streaks. They have complete control over A for right now. And if you're Cells, you immediately call in those streaks. How can Holler and Bxldyyy weather the storm? They're going to sit right now inside of fire. Both their positions are known. Another retake needed. A man disadvantage. Can HavoK get it done? Streaks coming in yet again. The fighter pilot trying to do all it can. As if you're Bxldyyy, you've got to go for a rush quick. And now Beehzy getting caught off guard. Finding one is Bxldyyy. Needing to just stay alive right now is ExoMoon. They have the advantage. Challenging from the side. GorgoKnight spotted, and just like that, 1 versus 1. Holler versus Cells. Cells in the exact same position he won the last round. Just needs to stay up, and yes, it will go through. Despite the kill being found from Holler, the defuse will not have enough time. And just like that, we see a huge comeback happen in the search and destroy from the boys on ExoMoon. A 5-3 comeback as they win this one in OT. And advance in the tournament to our finals. A big swing of momentum if you are the boys on ExoMoon. You've got to be feeling so good after that. And honestly, let's take a look at that scorecard right there. Holler finishes off 14-7 despite the L. And Cells, though, finishing off 15-7. Cells, fantastic performance from him. I believe he honestly, I think it was in the USS Texas map that ExoMoon played. I think that was, what, their round 2 matchup? I think he had a pretty strong performance in their search and destroy as well. So overall, this guy Cells has been playing incredibly sound, especially when it comes down to the search and destroys, and has obviously been relying on Envader and Beehzy to obviously try to go off in the respawns. But still, Cells having a fantastic series for them, a huge comeback, and honestly, in back-to-back 1 versus 1 situation for Cells, granted, he's in a position where he is favored to win. In a 1v1, of course, you have the time to work with. You're kind of holding that back box point of view. There's maybe, what, 14, 15 seconds for the opposition to find you and trying to get that kill down. But just overall, plays his time well. Obviously gets kills throughout the entire game and obviously earns streaks. I mean, just overall fantastic performance from ExoMoon to make a 5-3 comeback. And I was already talking about the CTF, about how both these teams have obviously played well in CTF. And I think, honestly, if you're ExoMoon, you really dodged a bullet when it comes down to that what could have been a map number 3, because in, what was it, HavoK? And HavoK CTF, they won that one 5-3. Granted, ExoMoon kind of piled on the points against a Leicester Cadets team, and they won that one 8-1 on London Docks. But really, I think when it comes down to CTF, I think we really could have seen a comeback happen for HavoK, and I think, honestly, they could have won that one on CTF as well. So, like I said, if you're ExoMoon, you're feeling good. You're feeling on top of the world right now, but at the top is exactly where things could be getting a little bit more lonely, as we will only be having one more team join them in that final matchup. Very curious to see who that will obviously be, but major props to the guys on ExoMoon. As I said, they do make the comeback and win this one in a 2-0 fashion. And with that, of course, like I said, we only have a few, maybe 1 or 2 more series remaining. We're going to see if we can try to hop into the other semifinal matchup.